Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I'm your host, your YouTube Messiah, and often entertainer, never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious. And we're going to go over Raw this week. It was, once again, in the ThunderDome. Still feels funny to say it like Vince. But, yeah, it's in the ThunderDome. Before we get into that, some news that did happen over the course of the weekend. Friday night, news came out. It was announced WWE's pushing a mandate to ban their talent from working with third-party promotions such as Cameo, YouTube, Twitch, things like that. And a lot of people were up in arms on it. You know, understandably so, but here's the thing. What it comes down to at the end of the day is intellectual properties, because if, we'll say for example, if, and this would never happen in a million years, if I signed with WWE and I was working with them and I was known there as Tim Vicious, much like I am here, and I gave them the right to use that, they own that intellectual property then. They have that right to have that intellectual property, and therefore I wouldn't really be able to do much with the Tim Vicious name. However, if I wind up going on to a Cameo or a Twitch or make a podcast going by the name Tim Ash, which, folks, I'm going to tell you now, Ash is not really my last name. I just use that as an alias because I still believe in kayfabe and I ain't giving y'all my real name. But if I go out there as Tim Ash, right as rain, all good. All good in the hood, G. That's the thing. Now, the news came out earlier today, as of the day of this recording, that they're okay with talent using third parties so long as they're using their actual government, for lack of a better term, their government name. Like, if Charlotte Flair was on Cameo, and she is, go by Ashley Fleer, or Xavier Woods, Austin Creed, you know? Something like, or if it was Triple H, Paul Levesque, you know, something like that. And it's understandable because, you know, it comes down to, at the end of the day, business, because God forbid WWE is handling the wrestling business like it's an actual business. You know, they wouldn't want somebody who, you know, again, they wouldn't want their wrestling star Tim Vicious to go on a podcast and say, well, you know, I didn't like this horror movie because it fucking sucked, because none of the girls' boobs in it exploded like the fucking title led to. Guarantee that kind of shit comes back to advertisers, to advertising. When advertisers wind up getting a hold of that, they'll be like, oh, ew. That kind of stuff comes out of the people that they put on there weekly. No, we don't want to associate us with them. No, ew, go away. And that's what it is, basically, hands down, at the end of the day. That said, after that, let's switch gears, talk about last week via the SmackDown Rewind. And isn't it funny, though, right before that, all that stuff happened right before SmackDown? Technically, I could have put that in the SmackDown Rewind. Either way, big highlights from last week's SmackDown. Mine Savior Paul Heyman came out and cut a beautiful promo with Roman Reigns saying, just as you thought I was out, he pulled me back in. He brought me back from a sea of obscurity and brought me to his island. And you all think I'm manipulating him? No. He's the one manipulating me. And just, whoa, that was awesome. Other than that, other big highlights, Sasha and Bayley are no longer a tag team. They had a rematch, they lost, then Bayley went full-blown berserk and went total totally bananas on her, like went as crazy as a monkey in a banana factory on Sasha. And then, yeah. So, which fits perfect for her, given the Karen haircut. So, yeah. Other than that, also, big highlights. Big E and Sheamus feud is still going on because Big E was in a number one contender, was scheduled to be in a number one contenders match for the Universal title. Spoiler, Sheamus took him out, so Jey Uso took his place. Jey won, so at Clash we're going to get Roman versus Jey, which honestly I got no problem with because, you know, yeah, you can obviously see the ending a mile away. But here's the thing. Again, I always stress this, and it's the way my brain works when it comes to wrestling. I don't typically care about the ending because I 9 out of 10 times see on how it's going to happen anyway. I want to see everything that leads to the ending. That's what gets me. So yeah, those were pretty much the big highlights from last week's SmackDown. With that said, let's start with the show. It starts out Randy Orton cutting a very scaling promo on Drew, saying on how he kicked him in the skull, fractured his jaw, or something along those lines, and then saying he, even though he feels entitled, what I absolutely fucking hate that word, entitled. Randy feels entitled to the championship, despite the fact that, you know, he competed in the triple threat match. He won the triple threat match and feels he's entitled and is entitled to that match, provided Drew is medically cleared. And if Drew is not, he wants what he feels is, again, entitled to him and be given the title. Which then, just after he said that, next thing you know, you hear sirens blaring and Big Papa Drew is in the house. Hi, if you hear... Wait, no, it wasn't Scott Steiner. It was Drew McIntyre came out through an ambulance, ducked the clothesline, popped Randy with a claymore, and then, yeah. So, we'll get to them, and then after that, Adam Pearce summoned back. Drew, you're not medically cleared yet. Your jaw's still not okay. You can't be here. You gotta go. Alright, I'll listen to you. I'm out. I'll leave. Next thing you know, you see him walking around later on saying, well, you know, I was leaving, but you know, the darndest thing, I wound up leaving with the wrong bag. So I came here, got my bag, and you know, just so happens this place is so bloody big, I can't seem to find the exit. Don't worry, I'm sure I'll find it eventually. So yeah, we'll get to that later. Next up we start the show with trios action. Apollo, Ricochet, and Cedric Alexander going against MVP, Bobby Lashley, and Shelton Benjamin. And I dug this match because, well, one, the ending, and I'll get to that. But right at the start, her business takes it right to Cedric as he's coming down, and they hit him. And then, so that's where that starts out, and then they lead to a little brawl, and then we get the match underway. Apollo is the punching bag in the match, and he can't even get out the damn gate. Cedric, like, from the beatdown earlier, not sure able to do it or not. Next thing you know, just as Apollo looks like he's about to get Ricochet for a hot tag, Cedric, boom, pulls him down, beats the snot out of him, climbs on into the ring, hits Apollo with a lumbar check, and then Shelton Benjamin hits him with a pater, and 1, 2, 3, that's it. So, and then just as Lashley and Benjamin are about to go at him, MVP's like, whoa, hold on. Go on, kid. You aren't that. Go on. Yeah. So, yeah. Next matchup we got Street Profits going against Garza and Andrade. Excuse me. And again, I gotta give it mad ups. Zelina Vega is hands down, during this COVID era, is the Monday Night Raw MVP because she has been on every single episode of Monday Night Raw ever since lockdown and the whole COVID pandemic happened. That said, Garza came out with his music. He came out doing his ladies' man bit. And then Andrade and Zelina came out and walked right past him while he was doing his pose. And he just looked. He was like, okay. Alright, cool. So he went to go do his thing. As far as the match went, nice hostility between Garza and Andrade in the sense of, hey, here, let me show you on how it's done. Hold up. I'll handle this. That kind of shit. Match came to an end when Garza eventually wound up jumping down saying, fuck this shit, left. And then they took out Andrade, got with that frog splash of Fords, 1, 2, 3, that was it. After that, Cesaro and Nakamura came out saying, you know what, congratulations you guys, you're the longest reigning Raw Tag Champs in history, but how often have you defended them? See, we're here for a reason, and that's because we want the smoke. And then, you know, it had a little bit of an exchange of words, and then it got announced next week we're going to get Cesaro and Nakamura against the Street Profits, which I'm all for because honestly, it works out really good with this whole every quarter they allow X amount of talent to challenge other people on different brands because it makes sense because it doesn't overflow it and it gives us the opportunity to see random shit like Bronson Reed going against Roman Reigns or something, you know? Now, next matchup, oh god, next matchup, whew, damn near had a heart attack on this one. Peyton Royce and Billie Kay both coming out with their own music and just, oh my god, oh my, yeah. Whew, good God almighty, both girls were slaying. That's all I'm going to leave it at, but real nice and smooth, and you know, at the same time I was just like, there were a lot of people like me that were like, I don't want to see the Iconics fight, but at the same time while I'm watching, I'm like, I don't want to see them fight, but god damn, that is so good. I can't help but look at that shit. And yeah, it was a damn good match that they had. Match came to an end with Peyton Royce doing that corkscrew neck breaker of hers onto Billie. Got the 1, 2, 3. After that, Peyton helped Billie up. They hugged and embraced, and yeah. Personally, I would have liked either or at the end after they embraced. One of them just wham, clip one with the forearm and then walk off. But that's just me. Next up, oh god. Next up, we got my future third ex-wife Asuka and Mickie James. Ooh, doggy. Going against Natayla and Lana, which, side note, according to the rumors and all that, and take rumors with a grain of salt, but apparently the reason WWE was upset about with the third party thing was because Lana was doing Instagram ads for Bang energy drink and all that shit. Take from that what you will, folks. Either way, Natayla and Lana, honestly, instead of referring to themselves as the best of all time or boats, honestly, I think they should call themselves HMB and just full-blown embrace the fact that they come off as high-maintenance women and be like, yeah, we're high-maintenance broads, so what, and all that jazz, you know, and just come out all basic bitch-like with pumpkin spice and Ugg boots and, you know, look and all that, and getting shit from Panera Bread and all that shit that, you know, you see high-maintenance folks like them do. I'm just saying. But as far as this match goes, I dug the hell out of it because while, yes, it wasn't necessarily a good match, but it led to it's leading to a further story because before this match even started, it was announced that Asuka and Mickie James are going to have a tag title match next week on Raw, which, oh dear God in heaven, oh thank you. So yeah, and there was hostility, a little bit of, or not hostility, but animosity between Asuka and Mickie, with, you know, And so yeah, that was in it. Match came to an end. Asuka had Lana in an Asuka lock. Mickie James slid to the outside of the ring to stop Natayla and clipped her with a Mick kick. And then Asuka made Lana tap out. So yeah, next up we got 8-man tag action, and this was, well, we had the VIP lounge, which then showed Cedric Alexander be inducted into the Hurt Business. And Alexander, man, cut an amazing promo explaining why, saying that, you know, he's going out there sacrificing his body, his time for a title that he doesn't even own, that's not even his, for someone else, all the while he's getting broke as a joke off of it, and, you know, he wants to go where the money is. And which, again, it goes back to like the old saying with wrestling. You can make friends, or not even with wrestling, in business in general. And I've dealt with this on many a jobs. When it comes to when you gotta knuckle down and actually work, you can either make friends or you can make money. Sometimes you gotta make that choice, and sometimes, you know, you gotta make, you know, while Cedric, he wants to go for the money. I don't blame him. He's got a wife, he's got a kid, you know? He's got to support a family, even if his wife's making that sweet con money. Either way, that led to then the Raiders coming out with Ricochet and Apollo, which then led to an 8-man match. The Hurt Business going against Ricochet, Apollo, and the Raiders. The heels were leading the match for the most part. Eric wound up being the punching bag. Ricochet got the hot tag in. Them two, Ricochet and Cedric, had a nice little eye-to-eye moment. Like, you motherfucker, I can't believe you did that after everything I put myself through working with you. Well, kind of hard to work with somebody who refers to themselves as the one and only. You know, that kind of animosity, kind of stare down, and it was just really cool. Ivar apparently hurt himself doing a suicide dive, because after he did it, you see him on the ground doing that, calling for help. Hopefully he's not really hurt that bad. He just may have twisted or strained or tweaked something really bad. But yeah, match came to an end with Alexander hitting a Michinoku driver on Ricochet, which the ref counted as a 3, but it was weird as shit because you could see Ricochet clear as day kick out, and it just, what the fuck? But yeah, either way, next up we got Randy Orton going against Keith Lee again, and a lot of people were questioning on this because, oh well, why does WWE give us these matches that we want until to the point we're sick of them? Guys, here's the fucking thing. Since about as far back as 2012 as I can recall, is when people were swearing up and down, oh, it would be so great if we had the brand extension again. We need the brand extension. It'd be nice to have the brand extension. Well, now that we got it, here's the lowdown. Each show only has like X amount of talent. So and I'm plucking random numbers out of the air. So while you have 30 people working on this roster, you have to figure out sometimes you're not always going to be able to get something new each and every time. Sometimes you're going to have to eat the same shit more than once. Sometimes it's going to be a little more than we like, but sometimes it's not. So just fucking, that's the fucking reasoning. You want to complain, but here's the logical reasoning behind it. Either way, now on to the match. Randy, really good, nice and methodical with it. At the start, you know, it was a solid match, and hands down, Keith Lee gave the best counter to an RKO ever. Randy got it, and it's like, And you just see Lee put his hands on his hips, just tilt his head like, like, motherfucker, I'm damn near 400 pounds. You ain't fucking moving me. And thank God for Twitter, because it showed a still of that, and you see Randy, while he's doing that, turn his head, and he's got that, what the, huh? Why ain't this working? Look on his face, and it's the little details that tell the bigger picture like that. Now, good as the match was, it came to an end when Randy was able to eventually pop an RKO onto Lee. And then next thing you know, just as he was about to go for a pin, Drew came in, started pounding the shit out of him. Next thing you know, hit him with a Claymore. Next thing you know, and then he leaves. We come back from commercial break. You see Randy Orton grabbing his bag, walking out, leaving the arena. Again, Drew, boom, popped the shit out of him, gets a few shots in, then sizes him up, hits him with another Claymore, and then leaves. Now, Randy's being left out leaving via an ambulance. So, 10 get you 20, we're probably going to get an ambulance match out of these two. Next up, we got Raw Underground. Aliester Black versus Kevin Owens. Now, in storyline, this is a MMA shoot style type fight. That apparently lasts well over 30 minutes, which, I gotta tell you, for a 30-minute fight like that, these two guys got like some Ric Flair level cardio, which is fucking impressive. It came to an end when they started to roll out of the ring. They were swinging at people all around them. They wound up clipping the one big giant motherfucker, Tabakoto, and then he came in, took them both down, and then Shane was like, alright, that's it. End of Raw Underground. We'll see you guys next week. And I'm not sure if I mentioned it or not, but that Raw Underground match was broken up into 3 segments. Into 3 separate segments. But either way, next up, handicap match. Shayna Baszler going against the Riott Squad, and this came to be because Nia suggested that since Shayna says she's so tough, she could take on the Riott Squad. So, the WWE execs said, yeah, let's do it. And then they decided to say, hey, why don't we have Nia do it also? So, Shayna, she was leading throughout the whole time, right up until she was running her mouth back to Nia, who was ringside running her mouth to her. Then next thing you know, Liv Morgan got her with a roll-up, and oh my God, Twitter was up in arms. Oh, she lost to Liv Morgan from a roll-up. Guys, it's fucking wrestling. It's fucking wrestling. We know this shit. Really, you're gonna get upset because of this kind of shit. I mean, come on, she's taken losses a million times before in Shimmer, AIW, all that jazz, across the independents. It's not that big of a fucking deal, and if you're going to get mad that, God forbid, she's losing to a talent to help establish them, but at the same breath complain that you want new talent to get wins and to get over? What the fuck is wrong with you? Think about it. You're being more hypocritical than Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez. Next up, we got the next match was Nia versus Liv and Ruby, naturally. And saw a lot of double teaming action between them. And just as it looked like they were about to get the win on Nia, boom, screen went black. The lights went off, everything went black. Next thing you know, you saw Retribution up on the Retribution logo up on the Tron. And then they cut a promo. Now, I was able to make out 3 people while they were wearing the mask just based on the eyes. It's like what I got taught a long time ago. The eyes are the gateway to the soul, folks. And just based on the 3 that I was able to tell, Mia Yim, Dominik Dijakovic, and Dio Madden. That's it. The other ones, I think maybe Chelsea Green, but not 100% certain. I got to get a closer look, and I'm not all that sure on the other guy, but if you get a clear picture of them, try and take a look, see if maybe you can figure it out. Piece the puzzle together. Next up, we come to main event of the night. Dominik Mysterio against Murphy. This is a match where Murphy is looking to get retribution, no pun intended, because of the loss that they encountered, and Seth just casted Murphy off. You are no longer my disciple, this, that, and the other kind of shit. So Murphy's looking to get back into Seth's good graces, and then ups the ante by saying he wants a street fight. Dominik accepts and has the entire Mysterio clan, Ray, his wife, and Dom's sister, all ringside watching. And I gotta tell you, I'm fucking impressed. I'm damn impressed with on how well Dom's going. You know, most kids, I'm pretty sure most kids, if their first match was at a fucking main international pay-per-view where millions and millions of people are watching, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I probably would have shit my pants. But Dom, man, he handled his own and he did good. And he was a lot of good back and forth at the start of the match. Murphy was leading the pace. And honestly, I dug it. Dom did good. He did good in this match. It came to an end when eventually they had Murphy tied up in the ropes, and then Dominik had a Singapore cane, started cracking him with it, and then Ray started cracking him with it, and then they brought in his wife and his daughter, and then the entire Mysterio clan just started wailing on Murphy to the point he said, I quit, I quit, I quit, and then the ref ended the match. So, yeah. Excuse me. So, that is the end of that, and that is it for this week's show, folks. So, do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes. Look for me on the Twitter at Tim Vicious. Also on that Facebook gimmick, Tim Ash. If you don't look for me on my Facebook gimmick, let me know you found me on there from here, or my Twitter at Tim Vicious on the Big Guy Creep John going. Also, folks, thank you to my executive producer, Ali Ray Ben, who did provide the music for this week's show. Check him out. His music's out there on iTunes, Spotify, even YouTube, and such. Details are down below. Also, thank you to contributor of the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. A little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Also, folks, don't forget to follow these cool ass cats writing on the Twitter at Some Mulligan, Kenny Killer, DSB_IV, Diabolica RA, and Sergeant Curry Pants. And folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck you.